Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another SpellForce Freecast. I'm told this is a special one. Although Hyperion is playing as the humans, so that's a start for that. But I'm sure there's more to it. Let's see. On the other side, his opponent is Aqua Kazam, returning from the dead, playing as his usual orcs. Man, he's not played for such a long time. I'm so happy to see him. Of course, he's going for the occultist. That's also his favorite. So everything's in order. It's the real guy, I'm sure. Might be galactic though. You never know. I'm told it's the real one anyway. Don Hyperion going for the Royal Mage, which is interesting, considering that Ancient City is such a level 4 map. And please, guys, send me something other than Ancient City every now and then. It would be great. As good as it is, it's too much Ancient City. Anyways, the Royal Mage being a hero that really benefits from a level 5 point, the Starfall especially, which is literally just a meteor landing, and then we've got Absorb the Elements, which absorbs your stack of Fire and Ice Might to deal more damage and to attack faster and create more projectiles from your staff. Yeah, that's some pretty huge advantages to having level 5 over not, but he still has some AoE, so if the orcs are heavy on Scoundrel play, this stuff annihilates them, especially together with Fire Nova and the damage over time from that, especially if you pick up Incinerate on top of everything, so we might even get to see some of that, but because only 1 point has been put into Deep Waters, I'm a little bit doubtful. We'll see. You could just put another point into Deep Waters and pick up Incinerate, I guess. That would work. For the Occultist, we've got a much more standard spread of Demonic Pact, of course, for more damage in a single location. It also adds some cleave, by the way. And we've got Blood Confluence, which removes bleeding from targets and leeches the health as damage. Then we've got Blood Sacrifice, which actually applies bleeding to nearby targets. We've got Point in Brute Force and In-Depth Resilience to make this guy more tanky as he gets weaker. So the humans typically like their tier 1 gameplay. Like, they make infantrymen, they make arbalists, and that typically works very nicely against Scoundrel. But you start seeing higher level occultists that's able to apply strongly damaging bleeding damage and then leeching them to get his full health back, making him essentially immortal against such a light composition like infantrymen and arbalists. And then on top of that, you get out your tier 2 stuff as orcs, hunters in particular, that can snipe these infantrymen so well due to their low health. Even with the tier 2 upgrades to the infantryman, it gets tough. So I expect a lot of infantrymen in tier 1 here. I expect an arbalist switch as we enter tier 2, but not without the infantryman upgrades, of course. Bit of raiding attempted by Aqua Kazam there, but failed. Well, it killed some workers, I'm sure. So for Aqua Kazam, just some Scoundrel and then into tier 2 is what I'd like to see. Anyways, Royal Mage is gonna go to town here, picking off any woodcutters. Oh, the lumber mills are actually closely together, which means that 4 of them will be chopping the trees in close proximity to each other, which makes them easy targets to the Royal Mage. Aqua Kazam has to be very careful with that. Infantryman is getting bullied by up to 4 Scoundrel here, but we can hear the Royal Mage has opened up, idling some of these workers, getting chased by the Occultist, and also bought a handful of these guard totems. Now that's very killable for the Occultist, of course, but not before some workers get killed, and I'm pretty sure I've just seen Incinerate there. All you gotta do is set some of these guys on fire, apply Arcane Scorching, and then blow it up with Incinerate. So essentially, if you apply it with Fire Nova like that, then you get 2 AoEs, and then you still got your Icicles. So this Fire Mage is absolutely bonkers like that. The Infantryman is also doing a great job taking down the Standard, and there's more of that on the way. With 3 infantrymen, I think you can definitely consider taking on the Medusa, so the Royal Mage doesn't have to run around too much longer here. He's already killed so many workers, as you can see. Good enough, I think. There's 5 potions, but he's chugging those focus ones, which will be useful later, of course. Doesn't want to fight the occultist directly, I don't think. But the icicles do slow down heroes and anything that gets in contact, so like that you can escape just a little bit out of melee range. Well, his damage over time doing a lot of work, but bear in mind the occultist gets stronger as he gets weaker. Thanks to Death Resilience, he's just very resistant here. And Arcane Scorching deals magical damage, unlike Bleeding, which is pure damage. So technically the occultist's damage over time is just better. Not that he can fully ignore the Royal Mage, but I don't think the Royal Mage wants to take the direct fight. I mean, look, there's a health difference here too to keep in mind. The Royal Mage is not a particularly tough fighter. He's still a bit of a Chad though, because he likes to go into melee. Once he has his auras at least. We've got a bunch of Arbalists now. Where did the infantrymen go? Oh, they're raiding down here. But I do think they should go on the Medusa job now. Don Arpeiron is essentially out of focus potions, so there's no reason to stay here any longer. Time to go after those Medusa, farm the potions from that, save these infantrymen if possible. I think that's very important actually. Just to get a little bit more work done with these Medusas early on and, you know, farm them as quickly as possible. Get up to that level 5 that's so critical. Akro-Kazam needs to be doing the same thing, so it doesn't really matter who I'm talking about, it's the same objective. But you achieve it with very different units. And a different economy too, like the humans care a lot about stone early on, the orcs absolutely don't care about stone. Hey, these units are dying, man. Oh, that's 3 kills by the Medusa, that's huge. Where's the infantrymen from the other side of the map? They get caught. They're fighting the occultist, Akro-Kazam leeching them for health. Where are the scoundrel? They need to come around and help. He's used Demonic Pact, which leeches his health. I think he's gonna go down, man. 57 health. He can't resist too many more hits. Oh, last hit! This infantryman would not have survived one more hit from the occultist, so that was very unlucky for Akro-Kazam, but I am glad we caught it. Royal Mage now has an opportunity to go to level 5 uncontested, as the occultist is being remade. And I'm sure Akro-Kazam wouldn't mind picking up a little bit of potions. In fact, he has 5,000 in the bank, which means he can sell his free focus potions, he doesn't need them anyway, and then buy potions and the armor. Let's see if he ends up doing that. He's currently moving out, he could still turn around, but every second lost here walking in the wrong direction is painful because, well, Don Arpeiron is working on these Medusa. He's getting closer and closer to level 5. And Akro-Kazam is getting denied his own level 5. Without the Medusa, it's just not gonna happen anytime soon. Maybe he will get there with his tier 2 units being superior to what we're seeing on the screen. And he is working on that tier 2. He's got the Risen Karak, he's got the War Pit ready. Although he doesn't have the actual upgrade to unlock Hunters and Brutes. But anyway, Don Arpeiron has dealt with the Medusa. Oh, one more bitter curse for these Arbalists. But he is solidly level 5. He's unlocked Starfall, he's ready to absorb the elements too. Just a matter of actually gaining the focus. Wait a second. I just realized he spent on Fire and Ice Might. That means he has only 1 Deep Waters point. How is he gonna afford all these spells? Okay, so bear in mind, absorb the elements is free, right? It absorbs your stacks, so that's fine. But every other skill here is 10 focus, and then Starfall is 20. So you can't cast everything. You have to pace yourself and potentially chuck some potions on the way to level 6, where you will want more focus. Also, the Medusas don't drop any accessories like rings, so you can't further boost your focus with that. Unless you buy one. You could buy one. And Don Arpeiron seems to be going to this base, which means that there's a shop here that he could use. Might as well. Going to raid a little bit with the Arbalist, might be able to shoot down some of Akro-Kazam's Iron Miners. Also got the fortified outpost here, so that's not very attackable. Not that you would want to attack any base with arbalists. That's a lot of scoundrel, but I think our royal Chad could defend this easily enough. Didn't go shopping whatsoever so far, except for the earlier totems, but anyway. Here it is. Starfall not in the most fortunate position, but Aqua Kazam was gonna teleport away from that anyway. So, pretty timid start to this, but hey, Aqua Kazam is actually using this teleport very nicely to defend at the same time on the other side. Getting a 2-for-1 and, oh, maybe a 3-for-1 because the barracks are here. He can attack them. Or take down the whole base and shut down all production for Don Hyperion. This is a serious Achilles heel. What's he doing here? Don Hyperion is like on the wrong side of the map, I feel. He definitely cannot take a fortified outpost. Don Hyperion. Please don't fight that. Jeez. He cannot fight that. Like, he's losing barracks on the other side. That's not gonna run. Oh no, he's tried to actually take it down with Starfall and everything. He absorbed the elements, which gave him a 36% power multiplier. Very nice siege damage for sure. And bear in mind, buildings have a minus, I believe, 50% resistance to siege damage, so actually better against buildings than anything else. But yeah, the barracks are going down. Granted, our Humies are tier 2, so at some point we will see infantryman upgrades maybe if Don Hyperion just doesn't lose everything here. He's currently down in population a lot, but he's fighting against scoundrels, so this might be something that he can save himself against. Taking down these miners super quick, not a bad idea, but he's gonna have to make his exit because there's now hunters. The base shot 5 infantrymen to pieces. Not good, not good. Aqua Kazam causing a lot of trouble here, getting all these units to bleed so that Occultist is well on the way to level 5 himself, although he's got a long way to go. More of this stuff happening. The barracks are getting taken down there. I like the attack on the iron mines. Definitely a good idea to take those down, because Aqua Kazam only has these 2 bases for iron. So he's pretty limited in that sense. He's also gonna teleport out from here, considering he's lost a lot of his scoundrel, but he took down 4 barracks. Now bear in mind, when buildings are destroyed, they do drop some of their initial costs down, right? So you can still get that picked up by your carriers. It's all automatic. You don't have to actually do anything, but you pick it up. And you get those resources back, so no worries. Not all, but like, if I recall, it's a third that you get back. Oh, Royal Mage just randomly dies there. Well, he'll come back at full health. He didn't hand himself over to the Occultist for XP, because he's still level 4 here. Definitely did not gain that XP there from that hero kill. But the Humies do have to run away, I'm thinking. There's just not enough stuff here to fight off that. That's just too much. Anyway, the Royal Mage is coming out. There goes the Arbalist production. Like I said, in tier 2, you generally want to start ramping up your Arbalist count compared to tier 1. Whereas in tier 1, you're just happy to pump infantrymen. More coming in, of course, from the actual main base. He's in a fortified outpost. Very important upgrade for the Humies as they go up to 10,000 health. Very difficult to take down for the orcs, even if they get to surround with mass scoundrel. I think the Royal Mage might want to teleport on this one. Otherwise, he can't save it. But he should be able to get a very nice Icicle cast on the middle of that group. Very beautiful. Starfall is a little bit too far back, so he's actually not going to hit anything. The VFX didn't spawn there, but no worries. Wasn't going to hit anything anyway. Sometimes it just doesn't appear. So the orcs are in trouble because they have all the fortified outposts that they can get at the moment, but missing population. They're full. Oh, absorb the elements is coming in. Are we gonna see a starfall again? I can't see an indicator. I don't think he has it right now. Let's switch modes to the Royal Mage. 2 seconds, 1 second. The absorb the elements buff is still on. And he's casting it in that little corner. Oh my god, I think he's gonna hit the hero. It's dead. Everybody's nerfed at the same time, so these infantrymen are absolutely going to town. And Fire Nova takes down what's left. The base also getting the strong shots in 100 damage a piece. Very, very nice. Royal Mage stays alive, is full of stacks once more, and it's a complete cleanup. And once again, we are on equal footing in terms of army here, but the human economy is looking a lot better than the orc one, considering they're on even basis. The orcs typically will lose more units if you make scoundrels, so you want a bigger economy for them, which they do have. They do have better hunting than the humans. Oh, that's a drill hall, which... 2 drill halls already. Are we going tier 3? Not going tier 3. These are... Guys, these are not transitional units. These are... this is keepers for fighting. Keepers for keeps. 3rd drill hall and 3 support garrisons. This base is only barracks. What are the support garrisons for? Catapults and medics. Oh! The medic wasn't a misclick. Wait, is this a thing? Okay, remember way back, keepers were nerfed in terms of their magical resist. Sucks against dark elves, but against orcs? Look at this. Everybody has pierce and strike damage, except the occultist, of course. But everyone else, these guys are hyper resistant to them, and they're not that expensive, the keepers. A quick check on their costs shows us they are 6 food and 4 iron, so it's just the iron that's extra compared to the infantrymen. Obviously that matters, but hey, you got extra 1050 hit points compared to infantrymen. That is a huge deal. Starfall is not gonna hit anything, I don't think. Yeah, it completely whiffed. Unfortunate. But hey, the Royal Mage is in the middle of the army. He's nerfing everybody into the ground. He's doing an absorb the elements, which is gonna last a pretty long amount of time, but not enough to get the Starfall back. So in that sense, it's a little unfortunate, but he is casting a very nice Fire Nova, and it's wiping out all those scoundrels around him. He needs to chug potions, is staying in fact alive, and these hunters can absolutely not do anything about the keepers. They're too strong. The numbers aren't that high just yet, but they are growing for Don Hyperion. This might be an actual strat to do against the orcs, guys. This is not a meme unit in this matchup, I'm thinking. 6 keepers for the moment, as a bunch of them have died, I think. No, they haven't. They all got out. That's a testament to their power. Like, you don't just dive the orcs and not lose anything. Well, except unless you have keepers, apparently. That's pretty impressive. And you know, when they get back, the medics just heal them up. There you go. Granted, they lose their focus, but they also have a small little boost aura where stuff regens faster. It's a bit of passive healing to them. That's why you see these little jumps as the keepers walk around. So yeah, Akro-Kazam, it's gonna be difficult for him to rebuild, man. Like, you do wanna be ahead of the humans. You want that momentum so that you can keep spamming hard and keep getting ahead by having good trades, taking down bases. If you start taking down bases and trading well, you're gonna have a snowball situation where the orcs just take over everything. But when they're knocked back on their asses and they have to keep coming back with these little armies, that are not upgraded, by the way. They don't have any of the armory techs, or Bloodforge as it's called. Royal Mage ends up in the middle of the group, nerfing everybody for damage and resistances. He's also encased himself in ice, which made him essentially invulnerable there. Unable to move, unable to cast, but hey, invulnerable and tanking all that fire from the hunters. Meanwhile, the keepers are going nuts. He's absorbing the elements, and Starfall lands on at least 2 hunters. You don't have to be picture perfect on your aim, as it's got a good amount of AoE. And now he's shooting 4 shots at the same time. That's pretty epic. Once again, icing himself as the hunters are trying to snipe him. But yeah, the keepers and the rest of the army just took care of everything. The infantrymen are upgraded for an extra 175 health. They don't have the Warhammer upgrade just yet, which would give them... it would move them up to 75 damage, I think. Well, Aquakazam is bruised and battered. I'm not sure he can come back from this, guys. He's gonna have to transition from hunting into farms. Recycling some of these buildings, of course. As part of that, he's got the Bloodforge, but I don't think he's upgraded anything whatsoever there just yet. Sorry for the cut, everyone. Okay. Where are we? This group is getting huge. Don Hyperion has put together a really large army here. He's got all sorts of bullets coming up on the front lines to, I suppose, block pathing a little bit, benefiting the humans there to create such choke points. Like, if you get an army stuck between these buildings, you're just so much more able to use your AoE abilities. And also, I didn't mention the keepers actually have the ability to push units around because they count as heavy. So all these light units just get shoved to the side by them. Royal Mage is casting the icicles there, not by accident, but because even that builds up the ice stacks, which will, once absorbed, boost attack speeds. And while not absorbed, it at least has an enfeeble effect, reducing enemy damage in the vicinity. This might be a good army to jump on, but unfortunately Aquakazam would just teleport away, so I think conventionally chasing after them with the keepers is a good enough idea. Tier 3 is about to be done for Don Hyperion, excuse me. And soon we should see tier 3 for Aquakazam as well, once he has the iron. And that's a tall order at the moment. He's already shifted over most of his economy into iron mines and the iron bases, at least. He could do so here as well. You're just getting rid of the lumberjack and stonecutter for some extra. But these bases will only last so long. They have still plenty of iron in them, though. So I still think it's a valid argument to make. Anyways, these keepers are going to absolutely demolish this base. Not even a chance to hold it for Aquakazam. And Don Hyperion is just not looking to play with fate here, right? He will build up to max army and just absolutely ruffle stomp Aquakazam, according to his plans at least. Like, Aquakazam might still be able to pull out a miracle, but in SpellForce 3, it's usually very unlikely that a level 5 hero can make such big plays happen. Especially because this Royal Mage is no slouch himself. I mean, it's level 6.5, right? This entire army dies, he might get close to level 7. There's a bunch of infantrymen here. Those are really the weak points right now for Don Hyperion, but Aquakazam just doesn't have the means to deal with it. Even with Sanguine Burst, which will deal 360 magic damage, plus 25% from the resistances. If he then also manages to apply Blood Sacrifice and Blood Confluence, actually, even that is not enough to kill off the infantrymen. You need more points into Brute Force for that to work out. So I think Don Hyperion can just strike now, run down the army, and then run down the bases. But we're gonna see what happens. If you get a little bit overeager and attack the capital, I think it could go wrong still for Don Hyperion. Considering there's still a sizable tier 2 army there. For Aquakazam, we'll see. He is splitting up his troops, but that's more than enough to take out the outpost. Aquakazam not looking to defend, he's looking to attack. Considering that he has brutes, it's valid, but this army is already too close to the capital. And if his capital falls first, by the way, there's champions now, so... This army is just getting way too sophisticated to directly fight. These guys may be weaker in terms of health than the keepers, but they have more magic resist by 25%, and their attacks are higher, and the attacks cleave. So it's absolutely bonkers, that unit. Anyways, full surround on the Risen Cow Rock. He's starting first. He's got here 3 ways at home, which heals, which repairs faster, has more health to begin with. So yeah, I think this is gonna be roasted and toasted very quickly, especially with the catapult support. Aqua Kazam will have to teleport back. Why, Don Hyperion, you're playing with your food, man. Do not play with your food. Yeah, Aqua Kazam is in serious trouble here. Although some keepers have stayed behind. They're using their magic ranged attacks at the moment as a separate mode, which consumes their focus. I think it's a little bit underpowered because it also reduces their damage per attack. I'm not sure if it's actually better for DPS. If I could find one, please. 75, attack tracker 0.45. Find one that's not in the magic mode. They all are in the magic mode, man. Help me out here, Don Hyperion. I need to know. I need to know now. You are kidding me, dude. Okay, there it goes. Okay, they have the same attack speed at least. So it's really just a matter of, do you lack the space to attack? Then you turn on the magic mode. It's not even particularly better against units with weak magic or resists, unless you manage to apply a weakening, but there's no weakening that only applies to magic, so I think the attack just shouldn't be weaker. Because right now it's just doing pretty much the same thing to these targets. Of course, if there's a difference between the resists, if there is strike resist, then the magic one will be drastically better. Like against the brutes, but against the hunters, probably doesn't matter. Just use the melee. Aqua Kazam can't hold this, as we predicted. The army was just way too big for Don Hyperion, so very well done. I would love to see more of this style. Absolutely brutal, those keepers and medic backup even to just make sure that they stay healthy. But if Aqua Kazam had gotten to build a bigger army, if he can snowball the advantage that he got when he destroyed the barracks, I think that could have gone a long way. So yeah, hoping we get to see more of this. Marked Aqua Kazam as winner? No, it was Don Hyperion. Thanks guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe on your way out if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.